The Street Profits just made their first big appearance under Bobby Lashley's leadership, so we'll see what's going on there. We'll also check out some more stories with Becky Lynch, LA Knight, and more. Let's start things off with the new Street Profits look and their big re-debut on SmackDown. So for almost a month now, Bobby Lashley has been investing a lot of time, effort, and research into the Street Profits. After being away from SmackDown for just around 2 months, the first thing Lashley did when he got back was link up with the Street Profits. And then from there, Bobby Lashley started doing his research and asking other superstars for their thoughts and opinions on Montez and Angelo. Lashley heard nothing but great things from everyone about the Street Profits, which made him proceed with their business partnership and what they were working on. And like we heard during that backstage segment, Bobby Lashley's main point was that he was stressing that he wanted the Street Profits to dress like stars, act like stars, and carry themselves in a whole new great way like they never have before. Well, the August 4th edition of SmackDown provided a great first look at what Lashley and the Street Profits have been plotting about over the last few weeks. The Street Profits ran to the ring and interrupted tag team match that was going on between the OC and the Brawling Brutes. Montez Ford and Angelo Dawkins came out for this attack, while also wearing the new suits given to them by Bobby Lashley. The Street Profits looked very impressive and made quick workout for all 4 men that were in the middle of a tag team match. And right away, obviously the wardrobe change was noticeable for the Street Profits. But what was also a big noticeable change was, of course, their behavior. The old Street Profits never pulled off an attack or stunt like this before in times past. They were always a very respectable tag team that played strictly by the rules. And now we see that they've thrown away their old principles and are just going by what Bobby Lashley is feeding them. A lot of fans are labeling this appearance by the Street Profits as a heel turn because they technically took out 2 babyface tag teams, and just the entire act itself came off as being very heelish. But the Street Profits buttoned their suit jackets back up and posed on the entrance stage before being joined by a very amused Bobby Lashley. And also, surprisingly enough, the fans in attendance didn't appear to view this as a heel turn. They mostly cheered for the Street Profits during their mid-match attack, and then the crowd went even more crazy. Crazy with cheers for Bobby Lashley, and was even chanting his name when he came out as well. So that's the big unanswered question here. Is this a heel trio that's here just to tear up all the baby faces? Or will they be a tweener sort of trio? We'll probably get more indications about what exactly this new trio is once we get to see more promos from them. But for the time being, the crowd seems to really be behind Bobby Lashley and the new Street Profits. The reappearance of the Street Profits was even well received online, and everyone appears to be digging what they're doing right now with the 3 of them. It gives Bobby Lashley a very important role and gives the Street Profits a fresh makeover that was most definitely needed. And it's also very nice to see all these new WWE stables and factions rising up the ranks of WWE. Obviously, WWE no longer has the bloodline intact on WWE television, so that's a big blow to no longer have them around. But you have other groups like the Judgment Day and now Bobby Lashley's group that seems very promising for the future. As far as new addition members for Bobby Lashley's group goes, that may be a major possibility down the line, but it appears that Bobby Lashley is solely focusing on establishing the Street Profits right now. Maybe once Bobby Lashley fully gets the Street Profits to that new level that he needs them to be at, and they fully adapted to that new style, then maybe that's when Bobby Lashley could go out recruiting once again for maybe one more additional member. So there's so much to look forward to there from this new collaboration between Bobby Lashley and the Street Profits. Since we've already seen them get physical and take out a few tag teams, it seems possible that we'll get to hear from them about what their mission is real soon on one of the upcoming episodes of SmackDown. LA Knight has been taking over WWE in recent months, and it looks like his confidence in this run with WWE has been there since the very start. LA Knight recently sat down with Busted Open Radio, and he said that he told WWE straight up to fire him and release him if he didn't connect with NXT fans within 3 months. He had this to say about that topic, quote, When I first came back in 2021, I said, look, here's the deal. I said, if you feel like I'm not getting over after 3 months, get me out of there. That's how confident I was that just in a short amount of time, I'm going to make this happen. I know how to do this. I've been around it long enough to make that happen. And I had a little more help in NXT, at least as far as billing and the way I was kind of used and whatnot. It's been a little bit more of a struggle up here, but somehow, some way, here we are. End quote. LA Knight is right, and that's part of what makes his journey and story so unbelievable at times. He was free to be himself in 2021 in NXT. That obviously is where LA Knight's character was born at, and everything was going smooth. He actually did what he said he was going to do, and instantly connected with the fans over in NXT. But it's been nothing but an uphill battle for him on the main roster. He gets called up to Smackdown, but not to be LA Knight. He gets called up to be a new managed character named Max Dupree. That was all about scouting male models and had absolutely nothing to do with his prior LA Knight persona. Thankfully for LA Knight, Triple H just happened to be taking over creative at the time, and he allowed LA Knight to slowly convert back to his NXT self. If Triple H never came to power, LA Knight most definitely would have stayed as Max Dupree. And obviously, it didn't seem like MMM was going down a successful path. So LA Knight definitely could have been released from WWE because of that. So it's just amazing how all the turn of events played out for LA Knight and got him up all the way till this point. There's been nothing but rumors for months now that big things are apparently on the way for LA Knight. So we'll have to see if that turns out to be true after all. Becky Lynch and Trish Stratus were understandably frustrated about being pulled from Summerslam after months of allegedly being penciled in for the show. Some reports and rumors started going around that Trish and Becky could have an angle play out at SummerSlam. But that's when Becky quoted the report herself on Twitter and posted a picture of herself with palm trees and oceans in the background, with the caption of, "Detroit has more palm trees and oceans than I remember." Becky's tweet was obviously sarcastic and meant to show that she wasn't even in Detroit for SummerSlam. Then on the morning of SummerSlam, Becky posted a picture of herself making lemonade, implying that it was the only thing she had to do this weekend. Becky Lynch also revealed the rest of the photos from the SummerSlam photo shoot that WWE had her take part in, which is pretty bizarre because they had her take part in this massive photo shoot and she wasn't even on the card or even in town for the show. So it was definitely a weird situation all around. But what are your thoughts on today's stories? Leave your comments below. Don't forget to subscribe with all notifications on and leave a like if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching, guys.